Today we're going to be going over this dirty, filthy engine. Filthy. Ew. I think that really is the best idea of how caked on this is for y'all. And then you want to cover your alternator if you can. Ideally, Ziploc bag, get it around it, cover it. I can't really get to that, so I am just going to cover it with a towel to keep the majority of the moisture out. But I'm going to be using Gunk. Very mixed reviews. So excited to see how this turns out. Idea is you spray it on, let it set for about 10 minutes it looks like. Says up to 15 minutes, and then spray it off with a hose, wipe it down with a rag. You're good to go. Anyhow, let's give this a shot. You can literally see some of it just coming off as we're just doing this. I will tell you guys, having done this now, I would wipe the front of your car as far as put masking tape or a towel or something around the front, because I need to wipe that off ASAP. But we'll let this dwell for about 10 minutes, come back. Okay guys, I will tell you that this stuff sprays everywhere. So I've been using a bucket with water and a microfiber to get all the extra degreaser that kind of oversprayed all over this area. And I wanted to show you kind of what I was meaning. So it's oversprayed up into here, so I got to get that all off and wipe that all down while this is still setting up on the engine. This is about 3 minutes, 2 minutes in, but I figured I would let you guys know that I did end up having to wipe everything down on the exterior while this is still doing its thing. Yeah, that is something I have just learned from doing it myself. So, learn from watching me. Hopefully that's helpful. Again, if you guys are a professional detailer, probably laughing at me, that's fine. But idea of this is I'm a noob, and wanted to show you guys what it's like as a noob to do something, and anything you might be able to learn, and does the product work first and foremost is kind of the big critical component. So next time you see me, we are going to have all the window and everything like that clean, and we'll be just ready for the 10-minute mark to pass, and then we'll spray off this engine. Okay, so we've got the window and everything wiped down so that all the overspray is at least not full concentrate on the wiper blades and everything like that I don't assume can do it any good. If you know better than me, and it's actually, I probably should have left that on there and let it do its thing, then maybe make a comment for the other folks, because my assumption is that is a not good idea. So it's been about 7 minutes, and you can see it's shiny. It's hard to tell what's going on yet. But I will, it is starting to come away. I can see, hopefully that'll come up on camera. You can see where there's the debris line, where some of it has fallen down, where it's slick and smooth. That was all caked on completely beforehand. So so far so good. And then I'm going to come back when next time you see me. I'm going to have the hose. I've got a crappy hose, excuse me, a crappy nozzle. So I've got a couple nozzles coming to try out. So if that's something you guys want to see, I've got a fireman hose coming, and then I have more of a traditional garden hose. So if you want to see those in action, I should have those next week. And then I will point out, because when I was just talking to one of my friends, he was like, you may want to let people know, and I hadn't thought about that. I'm assuming you guys know this, but this should be the first step if you're going to detail your car. Start with this step, because you're going to have dirt, debris, and everything coming out all over the car. Imagine if I detailed the car and waxed it and all this stuff, and then I get this overspray from the engine. I mean, just make this the first step. I'm assuming you guys know that, but my friend pointed it out, so maybe that isn't as a no-brainer, common sense thing as I thought it might be. Yeah, this is a car that's 9 years old. It's 2011. It's currently August 2020. Right now, it's got about 63,000 miles on it. I bought it about 14 months ago with 54,000 on it. So she's seen some use, and I don't know when, if ever, this thing had been cleaned. It was just super caked on. You can see already, guys, this is like brand new clean. That I couldn't even see that metal when we first started. It was just kind of a matte black. All right. Next time you see me, we're going to be hosing her down. Okay, guys, so it's been about 10 minutes. Now, if you have a pressure washer, you want to you don't want to be right up on it. You want to be from a distance away. This is just an old traditional garden hose, and I want to do this. I don't want to. The idea is that the product has done the work, so I'm just spraying it off. And that is absolutely coming away with no issues. Completely off. Turning into almost like a foam when it hits it. As that layer of grease and debris just kind of washes away. Again, this is why you're covering your alternator, is because water or anything that goes out in there, that would be all not the best. Now, I'm not show carring this or anything like that, so I'm just getting it clean, giving the old girl a wash, a little love. And here in Texas, guys, it is already hot. It is 88 degrees, and it is 8 a.m. All you guys think that you want to move to Texas, I would highly recommend you think that through. It's so hot in the summers we can't go outside unless you're in a pool or if you're at a restaurant. Alright, well there we are, guys. Let me get this paused, leave the hose turned off, and I'll come right back. And just to have said it, any place you might have gotten overspray on, better safe than sorry. Give it an additional rinse just to make sure you get all that product off. Leaving the engine degreaser on your paint can't do it any favors. One last rinse from the back here. That should be good. This product, there are reviews, by the way, about it not being good for asphalt, blacktop, things like that. So I did take the hose, kind of like you're seeing here, and sprayed it all underneath the engine bay area so that I dilute it and run it downhill, because I don't want it to pit or just leave black nastiness under the car. We shall see if that worked when I get it rolled away, but just wanted to point that out just in case. So an additional step you guys could do, just to have pointed it out, is there's some spots that did not get cleaned. around here. And another step that you could have done that I probably should have done, you know, hindsight 2020, is a little detail brush. Spray a little product on the detail brush and get into the little crevices and little areas. If you're really trying to get the engine completely like crystal clean, that would probably be a nice little step. You know, if you already have the brush, you know, take the extra 1 minute to do it. Might have made this even come out a little better. I'm gonna take just some shop towels, you know, some old blue typical shop towels to wipe her all down. And then, you know how they say the test is if she actually starts back up, but everything should be good. We covered the alternator as my main point of concern. If you have your ECUs or anything like that, any kind of computer products, need to make sure those are closed. If you got an older car, a lot more things to worry about. If it's aluminum, you don't want the product to dwell too long, things like that. But yeah, read the product, read the directions, read the warnings and all those kinds of things, so that you know what's safe on your product and your engine and all that kind of jazz. So I'm going to wipe her down and we'll come back. Okay guys, here she is. And that honestly had been loosened up a lot by the Gunk product, but you're going to see she looks choice. Again, this is not a show car. This is just a daily driver that I'm trying to clean up. But did a really good job. I think you guys will be impressed with that. I certainly was. Everything is clean, not shined, but cleaned. I will probably take some additional rag time to it just to get all the extra debris that's, as I wiped away, has kind of just smeared around. But that's just because I want to be a little fastidious, if you will. You know, this is not a job I'm going to do very often, so if I'm going to do it, I might as well take the time to do it to a proficient way, to a certain level of happiness. But yeah, man, I would say this stuff is pretty awesome. 1 can is more than enough to do a typical size engine. I mean, it is empty, but as you guys watched, I soaked it to let the product do its thing. Yeah, I would recommend this. So far, no issues. And it seems to be not only just clean, there's no additional residue, no oils left behind. I mean, hopefully you guys can hear that. I mean, it's just squeaky clean, which is what I personally was wanting. I think a lot of times you buy a car from a dealership if it's used and they've just rubbed transmission oil or something like that all over it to just make it glisten, but then obviously that stuff picks up dirt, debris, engine debris, all this kind of stuff. So this should attract less than a product that leaves a wet finish. But anyhow, hope you guys like that. Mash that thumbs up, please subscribe, helps me. Obviously you guys know how this works, but really appreciate you guys. If you have other tips, tricks, or there's other types of products you recommend, other steps that somebody should take, anything like that. Again, this is a noob channel, so please, I'm more of a hobbyist than anything, so please share your expert opinions or even your non-expert opinions. If you've had some trial and error on this yourself, you know, let us all know. But appreciate it. Thanks for all you guys do, and thanks for all the comments. Appreciate you. Have a good day.